You don't want to tend to the moments that hurt you deeply because you want to just keep someone around. And so welcome back. For those that don't know, my name is Davielle Unique. Thank you so much for being here. Look, I'm laying on the couch, okay? I just want to talk to y'all like this. I want to talk about some things, and I don't care to be all sitting up all perfect because I guess it's kind of deep. I don't know, whatever. But basically, I ended up posting recently, if you didn't see my most recent video, experiencing betrayal after ignoring my intuition. And it was basically a video about a girl that had a voodoo doll of me, and I tolerated so much and had so many signs that she just wasn't a good friend for me, but I still kind of lived with her, gave her the time of day, did all this stuff when my intuition told me she wasn't good for me. And I think one thing about getting deep, and I know I don't be looking at the camera, but just bear with me. Anyway, one thing about getting deep is the idea that vulnerable and deep is the idea that like you have to talk about certain things. And when you talk about it, you're like, wow, I really did tolerate so much. Like I really did let so much slide. And then as me being the questions girly, because I always be like, why? I found myself asking why, like, why did I tolerate all of that? And I had to answer my questions because that's something I'm learning to do as a questions person. I've been a questions person since a kid. I've always been told, I'm always like, why? Where are we going? So I'm a very curious being. Why needs to be answered. So why did I tolerate so many toxic friendships, toxic people in my life for so long and like let so much slide? I think there's many answers. One, and I hope people can relate to this because we do things and we're like, what the heck? But the one thing I can say is it's almost always mirroring back a part of us that we haven't dealt with or healed. So if there's someone in your life that you're letting things slide since a kid, like for me, a parent that I had that was getting away with a lot, like mistreating me as a child, and yet I still want them in my life. I still want to show up for them on holidays, even as I grew up, trying to create a relationship with them when I know they don't deserve it. So it's going to mirror back in my life other people that don't deserve my energy, but because I don't know how to even cut off this one parent, I can't cut off other people. It's a habit. I've created the habit of tolerating less than what I deserve. Why? Because society says it's your parent and you better love them and blah, blah, blah. But they're mistreating me. They literally can't stand me. I know energies. I feel energies, but because society tells me I gotta keep the parent around, I'm doing it. That's a disservice. And so now my divine team is like, oh, you want to keep that parent around? All right, well, might as well keep all these other people around too, right? What's the difference? To learn to let go of somebody means that you can attract healthy relationships. You can actually understand who's right for you. But if in your own household, in your own family dynamic, you can't understand that someone's hurting you, never mind outsiders who have way more to hide, right? And so that's one thing I really learned through this journey. It's like the more I held on to that parent, the more I caused more anguish and confusion in my life because I didn't know how to let people go. And I realized the times that I was tougher on that parent, those were the times where I did have a little more boundaries with people, oddly enough, And so there's just so much I tolerated from like relationships and being stern. Is because I was still stern with that parent, very stern, but would still keep them around. So it's a waste. So I'd be stern with people. People still feel my wrath and I'll show up and I still fold and I still let them stay in my life because it's habit, because I grew up with that. And that's kind of like parent wounds and stuff, mother, father wounds, all that. Those are the first two people that I learned to connect with as a child. And so that is who I base my relationships off of, basically subconsciously. I don't even realize I'm doing it until I'm doing it, right? So there's that. And then it's just the gratification and the satisfaction that you get from people in your life. It's just they check a box off. And so to let them go means you're getting ready to end that box being checked off. it's like, oh, I have a best friend now, or oh, I have a man now, or oh, I have a this. When you're not ready to be single, you're not ready to be friendless. That's annoying, right? And I get that. And I sat in that, and I know that thing just started making noise. Just ignore it if you can. But yeah, you're like, what? I want to continue to have the benefit. Whatever the benefit this person gives me in my life, whether for me it was a lot of like fun and enjoyment and travel, you know, and being able to say, hey, I have a girl group that I'm friends with, or hey, I'm in a relationship and me and this man have been together for this long, oh my gosh. Or, you know, the saying like, when you build something for so long, why give up? Fuck that saying, first of all, because what are you talking about? So if the person shoots you, that's what it's gonna take for you to let them go? So it's like conditional, maybe. Like, no, it's whatever you feel. However you feel. If you feel disrespected, if you feel like boundaries are crossed, you have to do what's best for you. It doesn't matter how long you've known them and this, that, and the third. No, everybody's in this life to teach us something. And I wish I had this knowledge back then, right? But instead, I was tolerating certain things because I'm like, I'm benefiting from this. Yeah, I know I should end it because I was very intuitive and still am, right? But I didn't want to because I was like, this is nice. Like, I'm getting what it is that I think I want right now. It's this, yeah, it may cause tears because boy, do my relationships cause tears. Ugh. My relationships caused a lot of tears. But I was like, but I'm benefiting, but I don't have to be alone, but I don't have to be single, but I don't have to be this. It's the same thing with that parent, you know? Well, I get to be like, hey, here's this parent, me posing with the parent, and look, everything's good over here, and it's a facade, because you're not happy. You're not. The moments are cool, but you don't want to tend to the moments that hurt you deeply, because you want to just keep someone around. And so, yeah, a lot of times it's convenience. It's just, that's what we know, and it's working for the most part, even though like 70% of the time I don't feel great. The other 30, I'm like, it's like, that's not fair to you. It's not fair, you know? And so those are the main two. I'm trying to think if I had another thing that I thought of. I think it's discomfort too. So a lot of times I just received a sorry from somebody, and I'm like, I mean, they apologized. I don't know, like, fine. You know, it was just this thing where it's inconvenient sometimes to cut someone off. It's inconvenient to feel like it's something you need to get rid of, or whatever the case may be. And so you endure the pain, you endure the annoyance, you endure the mean energy that comes from them or whatever, because it's just like, it's convenient. Like, there's so many things. We just have to give ourselves grace. We grow up a certain way, and we're literally day by day breaking free from the childhood us, like the children in us. That's like, I just want friends. I just want a man. I just want someone to love me, right? And so we'll tolerate certain things in the name of like, hey, I can check the box. It's the freaking box that you're checking off. And so after cutting so many people off, it's just me and my sister now. And so it's different for me. I had groups, mad people around constantly, and I had to adjust and be good with just me and my sister. And there was a point in my life where even me and my sister weren't good. So I was kind of like back and forth with people and not having that many friends. And so I had a lot of solo time that I was in. And especially when you experience that side of things, when you do have people come in, you're like you're happy, you're excited, you're this. And so give yourself grace, be honest in that way, so that when it does come time to let go and you're drilling yourself with why, what took me so long, what this, what that, at least you're honest with yourself. Like, okay, I'm just keeping them around because I'm lonely, I'm bored, I'm this, I'm that. And then you know you're making a choice. You know, you're making a choice to keep this person in your life. And at least when you know you're making the choice, you're aware. And so when the time comes for you to make the right choice, it's a little more clear to you versus you lying to yourself saying like, they're amazing, they never hurt me. Oh my God, that's the worst thing you could possibly do, because I've definitely done that, you know, trying to convince myself. There's even been people that I wasn't in a relationship with. I was just talking to them and I wanted them to treat me right. Meanwhile, I didn't want to be their girlfriend. It's a sick game we play. It's just like, yeah, but I want you to want me, and I want you to treat me right, and I want you to this, and I want you to that. And it's just like, I'm wasting energy here on someone I don't want because I need the validation that me and them go together and they want me and they this. And I had to check myself. And I think that's what saved me. I would check myself later on down the line after I had countless freaking friendships and all that were going so wrong. I had to start being honest with myself and say, why are you tolerating this? And it led me here, like, oh, I had to get it right back to the parent that I was tolerating, and I had to let go of that parent. And it was recently I let go of that parent, and so I could find the strength to let go of all these other people. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I was just answering the question, like, why? And I was even talking to my sister, and I was like, oh, okay, there's so much habit in what we go through and tolerate, and no one's better than the other. Even if someone's looking at me, judging me right now, you tolerating some shit in your life that you shouldn't either. Like, we all do it. We all do it. If it's not in one area, it's the other. You're letting your pet do crazy shit. You know what I mean? Like, we all do it. So we need to have grace, but we need to also stand on something. Just because I have grace for myself doesn't mean that I let myself slide. That's something to just keep in mind. A lot of times we just have healing to do. And when we do it, we're going to reflect on some of the things that we accepted, and it's going to be like, who the heck was that, and why the hell did we tolerate that? And it's okay to have those moments, but I'm just here to tell you, when you have those moments, also keep in mind what I just said. It comes from childhood, it comes from convenience, it comes from some of the things that, you know, we have to break out of. And so cheer yourself on. If anything, you're doing it, you're letting go. And if you're not doing it yet, you're going to do it. Declare that and start to analyze the relationships, the company that you keep. Do they align with you or not? Be honest. And if you're just using them, be honest. Just be real with yourself. Truly, that's the best thing that you could do, honestly. I just wanted to come on and say that. I was reflecting after posting it, and I was just like, wow, I think a lot of times people are told, like, speak your truth, come on, let it out. But sometimes when you talk about things that happened in the past, it makes other things come up, like, yo, what? So I did that, and then I did this. And of course, in that video, there's so much I didn't even mention to y'all. But I had to just take a moment and give myself grace. So I'm human too. I'll have moments like, whoa, why did I, and it hit me kind of hard. And I was just like, girl, you know why. And I had a moment and I processed it, but process some emotions. Just let it out. Look, we all just going about life as best as we can, and some things make sense, some things don't. You have to talk it out and have those conversations with yourself so that you can eventually have some grace for yourself. You know what I mean? Yeah, I just thought of this video on a whim, so I just wanted to share real fast. So take what you can and leave the rest behind, okay? But if you stayed this long, please like, comment, share, subscribe, show your girl some love if you'd like. But until the next one, I will see you when I see you.